Today, you will use statistics to build a baseball team. You may use division, ratios, and percentages to decide which baseball players will be best for your fantasy baseball team. You see statistics everywhere. Statistics is a part of mathematics that uses numbers as data to predict events. If you watch the news at night, you may see statistics to describe weather. You may see it when talking about politics and when talking about sports. For example, you may use the statistics to look at the past performances of baseball players to predict what their future performances might be. On my screen, I have a picture of a baseball card of Ryan Howard. Baseball cards are printed every year and they list past statistics and the current year statistics of baseball players, specifically looking at their batting records. Let's take a look at the data that will help you select your team. This is AB or at-bats, how often a player was at-bat for the year. H stands for hits. This is how often the player hit the ball for the year. HR stands for home runs. This is how often Ryan Howard hit a home run in a year. For example, in 2012, in the season, he hit 14 home runs. In 2008, he hit 48 and was the league leader. BB stands for base on balls, or the number of times the player was walked in that season. SO stands for strikeouts, or the number of times the player struck out in that season. You may use these statistics and others to determine which players will be best for your team. You will have a list of players and their statistics to look at. These are some key statistics that may help you decide which players are best for your team. The batting average takes the hits and divides it by the at-bats. The closer this number is to 1, the better the player is at hitting the ball when they come at bat. On-base percentage is how often the player was able to get on base. Cumulative at-bats will help you calculate a ratio for home runs and strikeouts. You will calculate these statistics and then you will need to interpret them to decide what the players need to be at in order to make your team. How can coaches use baseball statistics as they're creating their team and creating their lineup? For example, a coach might want to put his players that have the highest batting average near the start of his lineup, meaning they hit the baseball first. A coach might want to put someone who has a high chance of getting a home run towards the middle of his lineup, or after some players who consistently get on base but don't make it home. That way the player who has high chance of getting a home run will be able to help those players run in and score. So now you will build a fantasy baseball team by calculating key statistics for baseball players. All of you have a list of baseball players and some of their descriptive statistics. Use the formulas I have posted and any other formulas or ways that you would like to look at the statistics to determine the best way to build your baseball team. After you have picked your players, you will present to the class which players you have selected to your team, and you will need to be able to argue why they are the best fit for your team.